If you're a law firm and you're struggling with improving your organic search performance and you just can't seem to rank on the first page for the keywords that are important to your law firm, then you've come to the right place. In this video, I'm going to be walking you through a simple step-by-step process on how to do keyword research for your law firm. And more importantly, I'm going to be showing you how to prioritize and shortlist keywords that you can realistically rank for in the short term. I'm going to be going beyond just the standard metrics like search volume and keyword difficulty that most law firms will stop at. Instead, we're going to be diving into some really important metrics like lowest DA, average DA, the average number of referring domains, the average word count for the top 10 ranking results, so that you can really make an informed decisions about whether you can realistically rank for your target keywords. So if you're ready to jump into this process and to start improving your organic search performance, let's jump into it. Alrighty, so as a preliminary step, I'm going to quickly walk you through this spreadsheet that we're going to be populating throughout this keyword research process. And I've broken this up into three different sections. So we have the quantitative analysis, the backlink profile, and the content section. Now, for these two first sections, we're going to be using SEMrush, and for content, we're going to use a tool called Surfer SEO. So the first step is to jump into SEMrush, head into the domain overview tab and just plug in your domain name. I'm just using this site as an example to run through this process with. And then you want to scroll down to the organic keywords, click on view details, and this will show us a list of all of the keywords that your website currently ranks for. And you simply just want to click on export and export that out into an Excel sheet. I have that open here, and basically what I've done is just cleaned up this columns to basically match the spreadsheet we have here. So what we want to focus on is a keyword, the search volume, the keyword difficulty, the position, and the keyword intent. So once you've cleaned that up, just simply copy all of these keywords and paste them into the spreadsheet here. Now, the first thing I want to do is just plug in these opportunities. So you want to click on filters and then head into the positions column. Under filter by conditions, go to is between, and we're going to sort by keywords that are between positions 4 to 15. Now, these are keywords that I would classify as quick win opportunities. So they sit just outside the top 3 or just outside the first page. And by improving these, we can drive some solid organic traffic improvements without having to do too much in terms of building content or links, because we know that these pages are already performing relatively well. So now that we have these filtered, we're going to head into the opportunities column. We're going to mark these as quick win. And then the next thing we're going to do is go back into the positions column, just clear that up. And then I'm going to go into is greater, and we're going to do greater than 50. Now, these are keywords that are ranking outside of the top 50 positions. So realistically, we probably won't be able to improve these positions in the short term. So for these keywords, we're going to mark these as low visibility, and these will be fairly low priority for us at this stage. Now, the last thing we want to do is just clear out these filters. And basically what we want to do is mark the rest of the keywords as existing. So we'll go into opportunity and we'll select blanks, and these will be the existing keywords. So basically we're not doing anything with these keywords at this stage. It's just more for our information that we already rank for these. And I'm going to reset these filters. So that's the first step. We want to fill out all of these details here, and this will give us a nice starting point to get some additional data points so that we can make an informed decision about which keywords we want to target in the short term. For this next step, we're going to be focusing on the backlink profile, which is essentially the off-page metrics that we're going to use to make an informed decision about our keyword selection. Now, this is quite a manual process and it can be quite time consuming. So what I've done is I've filtered this opportunity column to quick wins. So we're going to focus on keywords that we can drive the most performance for in the short term. And I'm just going to skip this first one because it is a branded keyword. So we'll start with law firms, Parramatta, and the first metric we want to look at is the lowest DA. So like I mentioned, we're going to be using SEMrush for this section as well. So we'll copy this keyword and we'll head it into SEMrush. Now I have this open here. You just need to click into the keyword overview tab, search for that keyword, and then scroll down to this section here. And then you want to click on domain because we are looking at the lowest domain authority. And then we want to look at the top 10 ranking results. So essentially what we're doing here is trying to spot which domain has the lowest authority. And as we go down this list, we can see this bottom one here has a domain score of 10. So that would be the lowest domain authority score ranking in this first page. So we'll plug that into this column here. And then the next one is the average DA. So this is a similar concept, but it's a little bit more manual. So you'll need to pull out a calculator. And then what we want to do is basically add up all of these different domain authority scores divided by 10 to get the average. And we get a average domain score of 29.5, which I'll round up to 30. So we'll plug that into there. And then the average RDs, we actually want to look at this from a URL perspective. So we'll click on URL. And the average RDs is this column here. So same as the average CA, it's going to be a manual process. We're going to manually add up all of these referring domains and then divide it by 10. And we get an average RD of 13. So plug that into here. And then these actually should be in the next column. So we're looking at law firm Parramatta. So I'll do those two as an example, but effectively what you'll see here is, aside from these basic metrics, we can now start to pinpoint which keywords will take a lot more resources to rank for. For example, when you compare law firms Parramatta, we can see that the average DA is 30 and the average RDs is 13, and the lowest ranking site has a DA of 10. Now, with this one here, commercial law firm Sydney, we can already see that the average RDs required is 72, so it's significantly higher, which means it's going to be a higher cost to actually build these links and to be able to actually realistically target that first page ranking. Now, the average DA is a little bit lower, and then the lowest DA we can see is 20, so in terms of being able to rank with a low authority score, it's going to be a little bit harder. So really what we want to use these metrics for is to compare the different keywords and work out a set of keywords that have realistic benchmarks that we can also target. With this final section, we're going to be looking at the content metrics. And like I mentioned, we're going to use a tool called Surfer SEO to get these 3 data points. Starting with NLP score. Now, NLP stands for Natural Language Processing, and it effectively helps Google's crawlers to understand the context of the page. So Surfer SEO actually assigns NLP scores for every website, and we can use those points to benchmark our site against top-ranking competitors. So we're going to use the same keywords as the example. So we'll start with law firms Parramatta, and we're looking at the NLP score, the top NLP score, and the average word count. So if we head into Surfer SEO, you want to click into the SERP Analyzer, just plug in your target keywords, which in this case would be law firms Parramatta. I've already run this scan, so we're going to open this up. And then if you scroll down here, we want to select the content score. So just expand this and then tick content score. And if you scroll over to the left here, we'll see that the average word count for the top 10 ranking results is 1,686. So we'll head into here and we'll plug that into this column. And then the NLP score, we can see the average content score is 45.5 for the top 10 ranking results. We'll round this up to 46. Now, to get the top ranking NLP score, we'll need to scroll down to here where it shows us the search results, and we'll look at the top 10 ranking results to see what the highest score is. And we can see it's 77 here. So we'll plug that into here. Now for this keyword here, law firms Parramatta, we can see that when it comes to the backlink profile, we'll need to have a domain authority score of above 10. The average DA is 30, so realistically, we probably need to be closer to that number to be able to rank in those top 1 to 3 positions. And we know that the average RDs is 13, so it gives us some really solid targets to aim for when it comes to putting a plan together for how we're going to rank for this keyword. So for example, we know that we need to hit roughly 13 backlinks, so we need to build those links. We know that our domain authority score has to be above 10, and that we need to get it somewhere between 10 to 30 to have a realistic chance of ranking for that keyword. Now, on the content side of things, we know that the NLP score for the top 10 ranking results is 46 on average. And then the top NLP score, which is the most optimized site, has a score of 77. And then the average word count is 1,686. So in terms of time and resources investment, we know that our page needs to have a minimum of this number of words. Now, again, this is really just estimates, so it's not a direct sort of ranking factor, but it just gives us some benchmarks to aim for that we can also use to try and improve our performance. So we know we need to try and get somewhere around that average word count. And then in terms of optimization, we'll need to use Surfer SEO to get our NLP scores somewhere around 46 to 77 to have a realistic chance. Now, like I said, you'll need to repeat this process for all of these quick win keywords. And by the end of this, you'll have a set of benchmarks for all of these keywords. And then you can actually shortlist keywords based on the ones that you think you can realistically rank for. Now, to do that, you'll need to have an idea of what your domain authority score is and the number of backlinks that your domain currently has. And then you also need to pinpoint which URLs you want to rank these keywords for, because that's what you'll use to work out the average RDs. So what I would suggest is use this template and then create another column here to the left. And you can actually put in your own domains RDs or the URLs RDs, just depending on how you want to do it. And then you can compare your benchmarks to these top ranking competitors, and then you can start to fill that gap to also be able to rank for those keywords. And then again, once you've done all of this, you can look through this list of keywords and then come up with a short list that you can realistically target in the next 3 to 6 months. So I hope that process was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. And if you want access to this template, just leave a comment below and I'll send it across to you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it helps you improve your law firm's organic search performance. And if you got any value out of it, please consider giving it a like and subscribe for my next videos.